Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. It's Friday, TGIF. Thank God you made it through another week. And today we got a few things to talk about. A little bit of instruction, try and get a tool restoration in. But, you know, I was watching, you can't avoid watching some snippets of news. But what is with this fad lately of these postal workers throwing away mail? you know Remember, I don't understand what this is all about. All of a sudden it's like you got all these in every state, it seems like you got, and it's not just ballots or anything, it's not because it's around election. It's like these guys have been throwing away mail, and I can understand the junk mail. You want to toss some junk mail, yeah, I have no problem with that, but they're throwing away letters and things like that, and I was like, what a shame. I mean, somebody could have written a letter of apology or something to somebody, and it never got there, or a Christmas card or something never got there, and then that could have started a feud. You never know. It's just a shame. I hope that I hope these guys, they have no business being in the post office if they don't want to deliver mail, right? Okay, so let's get started today. First, I want to talk about a friend of the show by the name of Alan from Curiosity Forge. We were talking the other day. Some people, they don't have a dig. They got to straighten out a tool. And there's something called a 3-point system that I covered before on the channel, but I thought it's time we do it again. So how you can use your vise to straighten out some tools. So let's get to that. Okay, to start off with, when you're going to use a vise for any kind of pressing or squeezing, because a vise really is meant for holding. It's really not meant to be used as a press, but in certain instances of light duty work, you can use it as a press. And anybody new to the channel, this is my great-grandfather's vise. It's my most favorite tool. If there was a fire in the house, I would grab this, even though I probably wouldn't have to because it wouldn't burn, right? But this is my most cherished tool. So the first thing you're going to do, and I do this every couple months, is you clean the rails and everything, because it's important when you're using a vise as a press to always lubricate the threads. They got to be lubricated. You don't want dry threads when using a C-clamp or anything like that. So I'm using my 50/50 grease and straight 30 motor oil. I'm going to lubricate the threads, and then I clean the slides, and we're going to put the vise back together. Now, you don't need a lot of oil, because a lot of oil winds up turning into a grease and a dust attractor, but just enough to lubricate the rails and especially the threads. Now, I ask you, have you ever seen a vise as smooth as this? I mean, that's just beautiful, isn't it? One of my favorite tools. Okay, I bent a piece of metal just to simulate what a bent tool would look like, something similar to this. What you're going to need is 3 pieces of, I like to use wood, you can use metal or any other material, plastic, and some tape. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 pieces of wood, and we're going to tape them over here on this side of the jaw facing us. We're going to tape one here, and the other piece of wood in the middle. And just using some tape over the top to hold it temporarily. Okay, you can see how we positioned the 3 blocks of wood. I'm going to try and get you over the top so you can see what it looks like if I was operating the vise here. Now, basically you have like I said, 2 blocks on this side. They're just taped on, just held on temporarily. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your bent tool, and you can see how this would work, right? You're going to place this here like this, and then we're going to apply some vise pressure. And again, this is not meant for heavy duty use, but you'll see how easy it works. Okay, I'm going to do this in real time. Now, the beauty of this is that you can position these blocks wherever you have the bend. And once you make contact with the bend, you could see here how it's straightening out. Now, you could do this with a wrench, you could do this with a rod or whatever. But remember, sometimes you might have to go a little bit past the bend in order to, because it might get a little spring back. But here we straightened it out, okay? So you see that big bend, we straightened it out. Now, let's say you got minor bends over here, Sometimes you might have to position these blocks together closer to get a better press, but you could see how that would work. And you could just, again, it's a way to get it semi-straight, or you can keep working it and moving the blocks back and forth. Great thing to keep in your bag of tricks. Okay, for today's project, I've been wanting to hit this for a while, but you know what, this project is pretty ambitious, and you can see what it is. It's a Ridgid pipe wrench, but what's nice, it's aluminum, super lightweight, very expensive wrenches. I even paid a lot of money for these. You can't find these cheap around here because this is what plumbers like to use. Now, the model number is 824. I think they call it a 24-inch. You can see here 24-inch, but it measures 22 inches from end to the top of the jaw with its closed. So I don't know how they measure it, but it's 22 inches. It's very lightweight. You can see it's got, it's dings and dents because it is aluminum. But by that, it should clean up. Look at the knurl ring, Look at that knurl ring. It looks in good shape. That's what you look at. This post looks in good shape. What do you say we try and do a nice, fun cleanup? And because this is kind of a user, but I want to make it nice, I don't know. I hate doing plumbing work. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Okay, we're at the dake. We got to get that pin out that holds that bottom jaw in. You can see that pin right there. And in order to do it, I just made a little bit of a punch using a nail, and I made it this way. Now, you could use a punch like this too, but we're going to put this here, and we're just going to press this out using the dake. Okay, here's our post-wire brush evaluation. All we're going to use the braid. Don't use the wire brush on the aluminum. The knurled ring came out just beautiful, as, they usually do when they're high quality. The teeth on the jaws. This is the bottom jaw, and what a bugger it was getting this pin out. This pin really was hard to get. It's a hardened pin, and it was tough to get out, but we got it out, and was able to get this jaw out. So the teeth are beautiful on there. Look at the teeth here. Just pristine, right? And the inside, look at that. Alloy steel, 24, and with the number mark. I mean, it's nice. Now, here's what we got to see up here. Again, again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, when we're trying to do what we do here, do I want to do this? How do I want to go about this? I'm going to think about it for a minute while I strip the paint off the body. Okay, this took me an hour to get the paint off of here. Now, this is just a raw casting as it would come from the factory after they cast it. I'm sure they dip it in paint because the paint was so thick on here. It took me about 4 applications, but unfortunately, the paint covers up a ton of imperfections. I mean, look at all the scratches, the dings, the casting marks, and it, the paint covers all that up, but this is the point where you sit here and go, what did I get myself into? These dents in here and stuff like that, you'll never get them out. And look at this here. What is that? What is that? A pterodactyl? You ever see a pterodactyl spelt with a P? Who thought about that? Anyway, so, okay. We're going to see what we're going to do. I'm going to go upstairs. We're going to have dinner, and I'm just going to chill out because right now I'm sitting here going, what did I get myself into? Now you know my favorite part. Remember what this Ridgid 24-inch aluminum pipe wrench looked like before we started. And we're calling this project done. There was a lot of work in this thing, believe it or not. Probably over 8 hours. And let's show you what we did here. Obviously, you remember what the casting looked like. So we took it down to, aluminum. Aluminum shines up nice, Went through all the grits of the sand. You know how I like to do the back up real nice. And did the inside with the candy orange because, you know, Ridgid's colors are orange. I wanted to do the Ridgid lettering in white, and I was able to do that. Over here you could see it works, you know, super nice now. It was a little jammed up, you know, tight before, but you can see how nice this works now. The teeth, again, were pristine. Left the jaws. Now, here was the part here. You see this top part here? I wanted some contrast, you know, because if you have too much, you know, shine, it goes into one into the other. So I left that like it was. I almost left the inside of this, but I just thought it would look so nice with the orange in there, and it does, you know. It really, nice contrast. And remember the top, what the top looked like. Look what we'll be able to do with the top here. See, I polished the whole top rim around here. I just like doing that. It just looks so nice around here. And, you know, and I did it in a brushed satin, you know. It wasn't, you know, no fingerprints. Waxed it up. This area here. Oh, it's just a pretty wrench, isn't it? So this is a kind of a showpiece wrench, but it's still usable by all means. And I didn't do all the lettering in white. I would like to, but some of the lettering was a little... You know what the problem is? If lettering is crooked from the factory or not 100% right, and you put that white on there, it really shows the imperfections. So sometimes you're better off leaving well enough alone. But everything's waxed up. You got to be careful. Aluminum scratches very easily. If you know, put the wrench down on anything, it'll dent. And but otherwise... It is a pretty wrench. Okay, one upgrade I made. You see this pin here that holds that jaw in? Well, it was peened over on the other side. Now, they must have a special machine to do it, but there's no way I'm going to peen over a pin on this, especially aluminum. It's going to, not only is it going to look horrible, but it won't peen over. So what I did is I took the pin and I drilled it and tapped it for a 6/32 screw. So I put that little screw head in there so I can always take that pin off in and out without having, because once you peen it over, it's permanent. And a lot of work went into this, so I won't be using this really. I always have 30 or 40 other wrenches that I would grab before this. But anyway, that's this one in the can, the Ridgid 24-inch aluminum. You know what I was just thinking, which is pretty funny? That's the kind of wrench that you put all that time into, and you know, you want to make it a nice wall hanger or whatever. And you come home one day and your wife says, I lent one of your wrenches to Bob next door. He's doing a construction project. He needed a wrench. And you're like, what wrench did you lend him? You go over there and Bob's using it to bang on pipes with, you know, your polished wrench. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.